On this episode of Fishing Edge, I'm back at Hinchinbrook Island on the Diamantina houseboat with Dan Grech and John Millard. In spite of some pretty ordinary weather, hopefully today we'll get among some good fish as we explore the island's surrounding waters. I cannot believe it's raining again. However, we are still at the beautiful Hinchinbrook Island and it's day 2 of our trip and I'm very, very excited. Apparently, Johnny, we're in Missionary Bay. That's what the map says and that's what the GPS says.
That's where we are.
Right, okay. It's a huge piece of land here, let me tell you. Mate, am I right in saying this wind's backed off?
Because we're in Missionary, we're protected here now in the bay. It's not as bad as up the channel. We're a bit further away from the mountain ranges, so hopefully the weather holds out for us.
Good. And now, Grechy, what are we going to catch?
Mate, we will catch everything today. We're going to be catching jacks, sparrows, finger marks, and hopefully some salmon.
Cool.
Let's get out there.
Let's get to it. The great thing is that while it's raining, a lot of people seem to think fish don't like rain. They're already wet. Rainy days often produce some spectacular fishing, so let's get to it. Alrighty boys, that rain's eased off, just a crackle for us to have half a chance. And where are we? I'm lost.
We're just in one of the creeks here, sort of luring the edge.
Yep.
Tide's come down a bit. It's going to drop out more. We'll do this before it gets deeper and do that deep stuff.
Yeah, no dramas, mate. Excellent. Saltwater barrows at the mouths of river, always fun.
Oh, there we go.
Got him. Nice one, Grechy.
There's a bunch of them sitting in there. Yeah. I'll try to get another one.
Well done, mate.
Nice, look how salty looking too.
Bright yellow tail.
Oh, there's one. Oh, I missed him. Another barra.
Get it in there, Lee.
There's a bunch of them sitting in there. There's a bigger one of what was in there.
He's not too bad.
Clunk that clacking minnow.
How long do you reckon he is, mate?
Probably 55.
Yeah. What is legal size for them in Queensland?
58 centimetres. He's quite a thin fish as well.
Gee, they're good looking, those saltwater ones, aren't
amazing,
they? Yeah.
That's a good looking fish, Alan. There's stacked up on that snag.
Awesome.
How many fish were on that snag?
Oh man, that was unreal.
Oh! Jumped him off. It's one of those tough things, you know, if you can get the lure up in there, you'll get a bite, but getting it in the right spot, it's not that easy.
Oh, nice fish.
Oh. Nice one, Grechy.
They're all at the mouths. At least the barras are doing the typical thing.
Yeah. Oh, here's a nice one.
Definitely that patch of fish sitting right on the mouth, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Last bit of push out and all the baits at the end, so.
They'll obviously hang here for that start of the push in.
Yeah, that's it. And then they'll get another bite time at the start of the push in.
What's the idea of that pitch, Grechy?
So it's an American technique for getting a lure in exactly where you need it to be.
Yep.
You basically grab your lure, keep your rod tip down, lift your rod tip up, let the lure flow out, and get underneath mangroves, underneath docks, underneath whatever you need it to get onto.
Cool. Just using like a pendulum effect, really.
Yeah, that's it. You let your spool go as soon as your lure's out 180 degrees from the water there. And, and it sort of shoots along and it goes nice low level, right underneath mangroves and everything like that.
Seems to work well. I might have to practice it.
Barra. Plus a salmon, blue salmon.
There we go. Real rattly sort of bite. And you may be wondering, why we're fishing out into the middle of the river when there's a million snags along this bank. And the reason is that there's not so much a rock bar, but a rubble bar all out across here. And there's bait and a few fish that sit all through this area. I think I've hooked him in the top of the head.
He's fighting hard.
Yeah. Tell you what, they've that big tail like those threadfin, and they've got so much go about them. Beautiful. Lures out.
Look at that bucket mouth on that.
Those little feelers like the threadfin salmon, not quite as big. All right, I'm gonna pop this guy back. Hopefully we'll find some more. There we go, he's off. Look at that. Spitting up bait fish. Well, the remnants of bait fish. And he shredded my thumb. Anyway, it's all part of the fun. I love fishing with lures, and especially when it's something brand new to the market. And this is one of the new BX Rapala wake bait or waking minnow. It's quite unique. It's got that beautiful timber body, which I just love in a lure, with a hard plastic coating on the outside, amazing colours. But that funny bib, which points down on quite a steep angle, will stop the lure from diving under the water so much, and it more just goes through the surface of the water, just with this big body roll, makes all this disturbance, and it looks a lot like a wounded garfish or something like that. And fishing this shallow rocky point here, we're only in anything from 1 to 3 foot of water, and the barra will be right up on the edges. So this allows me to fish this in just 4 or 5 inches of water. Very, very cool looking lure. Swims like a champion, and hopefully we'll catch them even better.
A little mackerel. What? A little school mackerel.
Well done.
So there's a combination you're going to get in Hinchinbrook.
Yeah. We couldn't go offshore to chase the mackerel, so Johnny thought he'd bring the mackerel to us in the river. I haven't seen him yet, mate. How big is he?
He'd probably be a 60.
Oh, he's a nice fish, mate. That'll do.
He's not a bad one, eh?
Yeah, he's not a bad one at all. Very nice.
Nice one, mate. That's the sort of fish you want to get.
That's a good one.
Look at that.
That Storm soft vibe.
Yeah, just wallop that. You got the pliers, mate? Yeah, you'd be happy catching those guys all day.
Yeah, that's it. It's a nice size fish for Missionary Bay.
Is that a good one for here,
Yeah, it's
John?
a good one. That's like one of the better fish. But yeah, there's plenty of up around a 70 sort of centimetre fish.
They're just so good. They get to that size and they just start to look
that's
really
right.
big.
Yeah,
He's big across the shoulders, that one.
Yeah. Well done, Greggy.
Yeah, not a bad fish at all.
Nice, and it sort of changes that theory that you always got to be fishing the snags.
Yeah, that's
it. The structure's actually out here, and they
There's
love
a bit
to
of
sit
rubble
on.
patch here, and that's where the bigger fish tend to hang out too, rather than on the edge.
Okay.
So we've been side scanning them up, and then keep throwing the right spot, and they'll end up biting.
That's it, and it's also a case of not just 1 or 2 throws. You've got to keep working it, and you get the bite. Standing back, mate, I reckon there's more fish here. The great thing about having a hire houseboat like this one is it allows us to put the boat right where we're fishing. We've been fishing just over there, and after however many hours, everyone just said it's time to head back for lunch. A very quick trip back here. The boys are upstairs cooking some sausages, so I thought I'd take a minute just to show you through our home away from home, that we're here for a week, and it's just absolutely wonderful. You've got a nice small kitchen with all the amenities you need, from a microwave to a stove to the fridge and the freezer, fresh water, all that sort of stuff, heaps of storage. But then as we move through here, this is, I suppose, the living room. There's another one upstairs, which I'll show you in a minute. But you've got your table and your seats there. There's the driving station here. There's also 2 forward berths up here with beds and stuff and all our mess everywhere. We've only been here for a day, but you'd think we've been here for a week by the stuff that's everywhere. Camera tripods and cameras and all sorts of stuff going on. One of the great things about the houseboat is this upstairs station. It gives you a sensational view of Hinchinbrook Island and wherever you may be in this part of the world. It's a bit cloudy today and a bit rainy, but it's still absolutely beautiful. You've got a nice spot you can sit here. The boys are cooking us some sausages for lunch, which is always good to have a nice warm feed. And in here, you've got what is another basically bedroom. There's a bed there, another station that you can drive the boat from, so you're upstairs. So even when you're traveling, you can be cooking food and eating and everyone having a great old time, and the person who's driving the boat isn't up here all on his own. It's just really, really nice. There's another toilet and a shower in there. It just makes life so nice when you're out here for a week that you can enjoy not only the boat, but what's going on around you. It's too good, but for now I need some lunch.
Nice one.
Oh yeah, well done, mate.
Oh, he's done you a mischief there, John.
A bit of tight country.
Oh.
I don't know which way to go. He just keeps.
You're winning or you're losing?
We got him.
Well done. Short but very sweet and intense fight that was.
That was unreal. Well done, Johnny.
Hey, I just noticed this water along this bank is 2 degrees warmer than the water we're fishing down
Yeah,
there.
that's it.
You can tell the colour too. It's like that seawater sort of colour rather than the fresh stuff.
Yeah.
That's a nice fish, Johnny.
It's not too bad. Hard to get them out of that sort of stuff.
I'll tell you what, mate, you'd be in all sorts of trouble with a real big fish,
Yeah,
wouldn't
you do. Usually they'll get you.
Yeah. See how quick Grecky grabbed that net then? These boys fish a lot of comps, and when you get a big fish on, you can sometimes get them in the first 5 seconds if they jump near the boat. But also being in such tight timber, you don't want to muck around. Johnny worked hard to get him out. First chance Dan had, he put him in the net. Well done, mate.
He's about probably 60 centimetres.
Yep. Pretty standard for this area.
Yeah, that's it.
Pretty good flats fish, standard fish. Yeah, perfect.
Cool.
See even where he's been rubbing against some snags there.
Oh yeah.
Lost that bit of colour there.
Yep.
Lost a bit of slime. Right up in there again. Keep him up, keep him up.
Oh, he's a good fish. He's choked on it.
Well done, mate.
Well done, Johnny. That was right up in there. He's a nice fish.
He's a goodie. He's a 60 something. That ate it as soon as I hit the water again.
Really?
I actually wanted to cast in even further again. I didn't do the best cast and it ate it as soon as I pulled it down. They're hungry there with that tide coming out. First bit of good weather, they like it. Doesn't feel like June like it actually is.
Didn't miss it.
Another 60 centimetre fish. Let him go.
He's pretty thick to the shoulders too.
He went hard in that snag. Cool.
Nice work, mate.
Beauty.
I'll just keep fishing down the back on the wrong side of the river. We've moved to a new bend in the river, and this one's a deep one, so rather than fishing hard bodies at the edges, we're actually going to fish vibes, soft vibes and hard vibes. Through this deep bend, the boys said you sometimes get some good barramundi, threadfin, salmon, grunter, who knows what in these areas. John's fishing a little Trigger X prawn. Dan's got one of the Storm soft vibes. I'm going to go one of my favourites, the Rip and Wrap. Mine's a hard plastic lure, and it makes lots and lots of noise. Rather than all of us fishing the same sort of stuff, we'll see what works. I absolutely love this guy, and a great way to attach a lure, whether it be a lipless crankbait like that, and it's called a lipless crankbait because it's got no bib. This is the bit that makes it swim, or whatever lure it may be, is that by the use of a loop knot. Very easy to tie. First of all, get the end of your line, tie a granny knot or an overhand knot in the line, and give yourself a bit of tag to work with. Then you put the lure on, you get that tag, and you go back through that end of the knot right there. I'm gonna make that loop about that size. Then I grab the whole lot like that, I get my tag and I wrap it around the main line 3 times. And then to finish it off, I just stick the tag straight back through what is the big hole right there. Pull the whole lot up, wet it, that is a loop knot. We can then trim the tag, and that's going to allow that lure to have lots and lots of free movement. Like I said, whether it's a lipless crankbait or a big hard body, quite often a lure that won't swim on a tight knot like that will swim absolutely beautifully on a loop knot like this.
Yep.
What do you got there, John?
Don't know what I got. It's a nice grunter. That's a good grunter too.
That's a big grunter. Oh, that's a real nice grunter, John.
They sort of scavenge along the bottom there and pick up prawns and crustaceans, that sort of thing.
Yep. Why do they call them grunter?
Yeah, it's they're good at eating, I suppose because they eat all that kind of...
Sure, that crustacean-y stuff. Noisy.
They're hard to handle, they've got lots of spines on them. And
you're saying that's a good one. Is that how big they grow?
they get a lot bigger than that one, but that's sort of
That's
nice
getting up there.
pan-sized legal fish.
They're a good-looking fish. They've got big eyes. They've got that colour like the jewfish get, that purpley shine.
Yeah,
real
right through to
chromey.
the eye there.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad one. We'll let him go anyway.
Yeah. Great looking animal.
Oh, it's a jack. It's a nice jack.
Yeah, it's a nice jack. Oh, goes hard in that current there.
Jack lives here.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a good
yeah.
jack.
Stoked with that one.
Well done.
That has been a lot of work to get that fish, but it is well worth it. I'm going to pop those little hooks out and pick him up. They're just a mean looking fish at any size, but look at that. He doesn't want to let go of the net. Let go. This usually works on the snapper at home, mate. You tap them on the nose and they'll open their mouth.
Look at that. Look at that colour on that.
That is a cracking looking fish.
Man, he went hard.
Didn't he? How's the way they flick that jaw out? Which is, I'm sure, how they just smash their bait fish too.
Look at the eyes on him.
Big eyes on him. He would be just enemy number one for a whole lot of bait fish in this part of the world, but just a very, very impressive fish to catch. They pull hard, they look great, and they're pretty mean.
Very mean.
Might pop him back, Grecky.
Yeah, mate, get him back in there.
All right, time for you to go back. Thanks for that, Grecky.
No worries, mate, no worries.
That was hard work, but well worth it.
What do we got here?
Jack.
That snag just looked too good. It's a short but sweet fight.
Oh, he's a nice jack. He's another nice one.
Isn't it amazing? We fished the last of... It's a good fish.
Oh, that's a very nice one. Look at that.
Happy with that. Fished the last of that run out tide, and the bites we got were like fairies touching the line, and this tide's just turned and started to trickle back in for the afternoon. That is awesome, Grecky.
Yeah.
You hold him, bud. Quality fish, mate. How long do you reckon he is?
I'd probably say 41, 42 centimetres.
Yeah. Mate, I'm wrapped with that because I can tell you now that I've caught 2 jacks today, and they're 2 of the biggest jacks I've ever caught.
Yeah.
Look at those teeth. They're made for just grabbing and punching holes and crippling the bait fish.
Then they can't let go. The fish
That's
can't escape again, so he's a beautiful fish.
I'm wrapped with that.
Well done, mate.
Absolutely wrapped with that. Thanks, Breaky.
Put him back.
Well, unfortunately, all good things have to come to an end, and after our couple of days up here at Hinchinbrook, we're back in the port of Cardwell, and I'd like to thank the people at Hinchinbrook Houseboats and, of course, the good ship Diamantina, which was our home away from home for a couple of days. The fishing was very tough while we were away. We got huge winds, torrential rain, and just some cold weather that made the water cold and really shut the fish down. However, Dan Grech and John Millard were still able to put us onto plenty of barramundi, mangrove jacks, fingermark, trevally, and all sorts of stuff like that. And I think it's a testament to how good the fishing is in this part of the world, that when everything's against you, you can still catch plenty of fish. And if there's one thing I can suggest, it's that you should get up here for a few days, get on a houseboat and go out there and not only see some insane scenery, but get stuck into some fantastic fishing along the way. It's a great part of Australia.